Do you feel like you're lost or you don't know your purpose? We're going to talk about how to find it. Welcome back to my channel, Closer to Your Higher Self. My name is Jerome, and I've been helping people transform their lives for almost 3 decades. I hope this video finds you when you need to see it most. If it resonates with you, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Without a doubt, we're all here for a reason. We have a purpose. And while we're here, we need to find out what that purpose is. You see, there's something that you can do, and only you can do it the way you do it. Now, it's possible you already know what that purpose is, and you're not doing it. I have this idea I talk about, putting your energy into circulation. Love, money, electricity, water, and time. These are examples of energy that need to flow in order to be useful. Now, your gift is one of those forms of energy. And when you put this energy out into the world, it comes back to you multiplied. And this gift or energy is part of your purpose. And when you're not sharing that, you're not fulfilling your purpose. I talk to people all the time that are trying to figure out their purpose, what they're meant to do. Now, deep down, you know what it is you're supposed to do. Your subconscious knows. And it's been sending you signals that you're ignoring. So how do you know what your subconscious is telling you? Well, we'll get to that a little bit later. People will say, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like it could be anything, like a car salesman or an astronaut or a rocket scientist. But where does your attention go? What makes you excited? That's a signal from your subconscious. Let's say you've always enjoyed cooking. You're excited about trying new recipes, and everyone is always raving about dishes that you make. Oh, and you hate math, by the way. Does it make any sense to consider that maybe you should be an accountant or an architect? No, absolutely not. Or say you've always had a fascination with machines, and you always took your toys apart to understand how they worked. And your dress is usually jeans and an old t-shirt. How silly would it be to consider that maybe you should be a fashion designer? I taught myself to play bass and lead guitar. I write music, and I've always had a fascination with fitness from the time I was 11. And from a young age, I was always that level-headed friend that people would go to for advice. So what should my focus have been? Well, when I was 18, I chose to study engineering. You see, I was also good at math and science, but I didn't read the science correctly. See, I could do all those things, but engineering didn't excite me. I was thinking more about money than about fulfillment. So I worked a corporate job for 6 years before I woke up and left to focus on the things that excite me: music and coaching. You see, I could do the technical corporate job, but it didn't excite me. I didn't wake up in the morning wondering what new thing I was going to learn or how I might approach my next project. I thought a lot about the projects, but only because I was being paid to do so. You see, just because you can do something doesn't mean it's your purpose. If you don't know what you should be doing, it's not that hard to narrow it down. And from there, you just have to do a little fine tuning. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But there are some of you that aren't trying to narrow things down. You know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Your subconscious talks to you. It's subtle, but it's like a bug in your mind. Every day you have this nagging feeling. You get up, you do what you're supposed to do, and every now and then there's this thing in your mind. It nags you to say, hey, how come you're not painting? How come you're not focusing on opening that store? Why aren't you writing your book? And you're not doing it because you're wondering what other people are going to say, if they'll think you're crazy. But you have to ask yourself, am I okay with never exploring this option for my life? Can I ignore this thing that I'm compelled to do and push it down? And on your last day, what will you tell yourself if you never painted that painting, wrote that song, or mentored those children in your neighborhood? You see, your gifts are not for you. Yes, they're yours, But that gift is for you to give to other people, to help others, putting that energy into circulation. And who are we to say that we're going to keep it to ourselves? What if Picasso said, I'm just going to paint for myself? Or if Michael Jordan said, I'm just going to shoot baskets in my driveway? Imagine the amazing things we would have missed out on. So you've got a gift for writing. It's pretty selfish to keep it to yourself. You can certainly do that, or would it be better to put that energy into circulation? You can sing like an angel, but you're only going to sing in the shower? Or you have a way of connecting with people to help them overcome traumatic experiences from their past, and you're not going to help these people. There's a saying, to whom much is given, much is required. And some of us don't think we're good enough. We have imposter syndrome. We say, why would anyone want to listen to me talk about X? Or my poetry isn't good enough. Now, of course, we can all improve, but I guarantee whatever your gift is, there's someone out there waiting to receive it. And you also benefit from giving it. That energy comes back to you. When I was going to leave that corporate job, I was in a meeting and I was telling people that I was leaving and what I was going to do. A number of people in that meeting talked about what they always wanted to do. And I thought they all loved their jobs. So at that moment, I knew I was making the right decision, but I also felt a little sad for the people that were not doing what they really wanted to do. And there are a lot of people in this same boat. They want to do something different, but they don't because they're afraid of what others are going to say, or they can't see how they're going to make it work. See, you don't need to know exactly how things will happen. I have notes taped to the mirrors in my bedroom and bathroom. They say, focus on the what. The how is not your business. The iPhone is amazing. Do you think Steve Jobs knew exactly how everything was going to come together? No. He had a vision and he was motivated to get it done. And because of that, you now have more computing power in your pocket than it took to put a man on the moon. So if you see yourself in a different occupation, believe in yourself and take a step in that direction. You'll be surprised at how you'll meet people, how doors will open, and you know this to be true. Think back over your life and ask yourself how many times things worked out exactly as you planned. Almost never. But you've accomplished things and you didn't look back to consider that those things unfolded in a way you didn't expect. And you know this is true, I'm just reminding you. And I'm not suggesting that you have to change careers. You could be in the right line of work at the wrong organization. Like if you're a lawyer and you work in a corporate capacity, but you're more fulfilled advocating for victims' rights. But ask yourself what lights you up, what excites you. And you don't need to be an astronaut or an opera singer. It may be helping people at the community center or coaching youth baseball. So here's how you're going to find your purpose. Ask yourself, what can I lose myself in? You know, that thing that you're doing when you lose track of time. Is that thing painting or singing or writing music? Then you need to do those things. And what do you enjoy doing that makes other people happy? And to be clear, this is something that you enjoy doing, not if people are always asking you to help them move and you don't want to do it and you don't say anything. It has to be something that you enjoy doing. If you knew all of your financial obligations were taken care of, what would you do? I mean, what would you do to put that energy into circulation? Check out my video on leveling up your manifestations. I talk about the possible pitfalls of not putting this energy into circulation. And finally, what did you enjoy doing when you were younger, say 11 or 12? Now, once you have an answer, daydream for a little bit. If cooking is your thing, daydream about it. You could go to culinary school to become a chef. Or you could start a YouTube channel where you share your family recipes. It's about trying to find out how you can share these gifts. You don't have to quit your job because I know some of you are thinking, I have kids in college and I have a mortgage and I can't leave my job. It may be finding a creative outlet for something that you're really good at. Maybe once a month you bring joy to people doing the open mic at the local comedy club. Or do you enjoy helping people with their problems? You could look into becoming a therapist or a social worker. Or you could volunteer at a retirement home. Now, you'll know you hit the nail on the head when that daydream kind of takes on a life of its own and you start to be able to see yourself doing these things. And once that daydream takes on a life of its own, write those things down. Revisit it the next day and see how it feels. Does that daydream become a little bit more clear? Now, think about what you could do to take a step in that direction. Again, you don't need to have everything figured out. You're just taking a step in that direction. Take that step and watch how things unfold. Share your story in the comments. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you next time on Closer to Your Higher Self.